Today for math, we're going to do some quick what's my number games, and then we're going to do some story problems. So first off, I want you to get something to write with, so pencil and paper, draw a big place value chart, and actually we're going to need probably quite a few place value charts. So we're going to be doing this game a couple different times, and you're going to be writing down numbers based on the clues I give you, okay? So the first one, let's start with an easy one. What's my number? I'm thinking of a number that has 1 in the tens place and 3 in the ones place. What's my number? I want you to solve 1 in the tens place and 3 in the ones place. What's my number? I'm going to show in 3, 2, 1. 13. I hope that's what you got too. 1 in the tens place, 3 in the ones place. All right. If you're using something you can erase, you can just erase those numbers and use that same box. If not, just do another box, or you could try to write the number without the box, but that might be trickier. Okay, so you need another place value box. What's my number? I have a 6 in the tens place and a 3 in the ones place. What's my number? A 6 in the tens place and a 3 in the ones place. What's my number? I'm going to show it. Let's say in 3, 2, 1. 63. Is that what you got? All right. So you need another box, or you can erase if you're using something you can erase with. All right, let's do another one. Listen carefully. I might mix it up on you. What's my number? I have a 6 in the ones place and a 3 in the tens place. 6 in the ones place, 3 in the tens place. What's my number? I'm going to show in 3, 2, 1. 36. Now notice I switched those numbers around. The first one was 6 tens and 3 ones. Then it was 3 tens and 6 ones. So it's really important to listen to what are the tens and the ones, because that changes the numbers a lot if it's 36 or 63. It does matter. All right, let's do some bigger numbers. What's my number? I have a 9 in the tens place and nothing in the ones place. All right, 9 in the tens place, nothing in the ones place. What's my number? Show and say in 3, 2, 1. 90. Nothing in the ones place, so you would just write a 0. 90. All right, let's do 2 more. All right, what's my number? I have a 2 in the ones place and 10 in the tens place. 2 in the ones place and 10 in the tens place. What's my number? Show and tell me in 3, 2, 1. This is what number you should have. 10 in the tens, 2 in the ones, and let's say the number is 102. 102. All right, last one. What's my number? I have 0 in the ones place and 12 in the tens place. What's my number? 0 in the ones place and 12 in the tens place. Show and say it in 3, 2, 1. What's that number? 120. Woohoo! All right, now we're going to work on some story problems now that we've had a quick fun game to warm up. So when we do our story problems, remember we use read, draw, write. So I'm going to read you the problem. I want you to listen and draw, and then we're going to solve. We're going to draw pictures. We can draw number sentences to solve. But first we have to visualize and think, what is this problem telling us, and how can I show that with a picture? Okay, so the first one is, we have a lot of friends who go for walks nowadays. So the story says, Jalea walked for 7 minutes. That sounds like a fact I could write down. Jalea walked for 7 minutes. And you could maybe draw a picture of somebody walking. This one I'm going to solve. You don't have to write this, but I'm going to show my thinking. So Jalea walked for 7, I'm going to write min for minutes. She walked for 7 minutes. Mariana walked for 14 minutes. So Mariana walked for 14 minutes. Okay, the question is, how much shorter was Jalea's walk? So if I'm thinking of this, I could even draw a picture. Oh, you know what? Because we're talking about how long they're walking. Jalea walked for 7 minutes. Mariana walked for 14. We're trying to figure out how much shorter was Jalea's walk. Now, walks are hard to picture. Sometimes when we talk about, donuts or pizzas, we can draw that. But you know what I would do to show a walk? I would maybe do like cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, these are funky looking. 6, 7. So that's Jalea. If we were in class, we could even get out cubes and use them. And then Mariana was 14. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you can see Mariana did walk for longer. What kind of a number sentence could we write for this? We're trying to figure out the difference. And you know what I kind of drew? These are almost like tape diagrams. Look at this. So if we were going to say Mariana walked for 14 and Jalea walked for 7, we're trying to figure out how much less that is. And that's kind of what we're trying to find here, is that difference. So let's see. If she walked for 7, she walked for 14, there are a lot of ways we could solve. I could say, okay, well, I'm just going to take away 7 from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take away one of those for every one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how many are left? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the difference. She walked for 7 less minutes than Mariana. And we can write that with a number sentence like 14. We had our big 14 here. Take away 7. And we had 7 left. So that's how we could write that. Now I solved with a couple different strategies, and that's the whole thing with story problems, is there's no right or wrong way to solve. You can draw whatever you want. We could have even drawn maybe a number bond to show that Mariana did 14, Jalea did 7. So how much less was that? We could even solve that with a number bond. All right, let's solve one together. So I want you to get a paper, and I want you to practice solving, because then you'll solve one by yourself. All right. So here we have a story problem. It says, Jason saw 12 ants walking in a row. I hear something we can draw. Do you hear something we can draw? Jason saw 12 ants walking in a row. So we could draw ants. We could just draw circles. I'm going to draw circles with legs. They almost look like spiders. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm out of room. 11, and we're going to squeeze one in here. 12. Okay, so those are the ones that Jason saw. So draw a quick picture to show what Jason saw. We can even label it with a G. He saw that many ants. That's not a good drawing of ants. Ants actually have, I think, 3 body parts. So if I was going to do a good drawing, I would do 3 body parts. But in math, we don't do great drawings. I mean, we don't have to do beautiful drawings. We just do ones that help us remember what the story said. So 12 ants walking in a row. Andrew saw 6 more ants than Jason did. So did he only see 6 ants? Did Andrew only see 6 ants? No, he saw as many as Jason saw, plus 6 more. Okay, Jason saw 12 ants walking in a row. Andrew saw 6 more than Jason did. So how many ants did Andrew see? Now this is one of those tricky problems that we don't know what our whole is. We don't know. Andrew saw more than Jason. Jason saw 12. Andrew saw 6 more. So we don't know that whole yet. But if we can realize that, then that'll help us solve. So I would just add on to our problem. So Jason saw all of these. He saw 12 ants. Andrew saw these plus 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably didn't need to add the legs, but I wanted to. So Andrew, and I'm going to say he saw all of those, the ones that Jason saw, plus the 6 more. So we could even write, how could we write this as a number sentence? So we could do, Jason saw 12 plus And Andrew saw 6 more. He saw the 12 and 6 more. All right, how should we solve? I would use the add on. Let's put 12 in our head and add on 6 more. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So Andrew saw 18 ants. There we go. So I showed my thinking with a number sentence, a picture, and I used a number bond to help me see the parts and the whole. And the biggest trickiest thing about problems is just figuring out where to get started. So that's why we always just start with a picture. What do you hear? Because once you get started, you can usually figure out what you can do to help solve. All right, you have one more problem to solve. I'll read it to you here, and then it's on the next slide, and you can click and listen to my voice recording, because I'll voice record on the next slide too in case you forget. So the last problem you need to solve, so listen, think about what you can draw that picture, and then make sure you do your number sentence to show your answer. Here's your problem. There are 8 eggs in a carton. So think of that carton of eggs. 8 eggs in a carton. The carton can hold 12 eggs. How many more eggs can fit in the carton? So it can hold 12. There's only 8. How many more can fit in there? I could think of what to draw. So go to the next slide if you want to. Listen to it again, draw a picture, and then write a number sentence to show your thinking.